Juoda, or whoever that is, the first opponent of MMA today, scouted a 2-racks as it was coming. So that was a quick game one over there. We're in the first match of this best of 3, though. This is a best of 3, guys. This is the second round here in the tournament. It's a loser's pick with set maps ahead of time, so every round you watch here on any stream is going to be mega rounds for the first game, and then it's a loser's pick afterwards. But these two scumbag Terrans pick two very similar colors. Spawning here in the bottom central portion of the map is going to be Acers MMA.
If we're left as the blue Terran, it's going to be Gumiho.
And then Invasion Esports. Man, they just picked up Keen as well. I mean, I don't know who this team is, but they're like the foreigner MVP team, you know?
Yeah, like new MVP 2.0. Yep.
Well, Super's not doing too bad to start off for his career. Gumiho's obviously quite a good player. I mean, a lot of good folks on that team. We'll see where that goes in 2015. Between them and Dead Pixels, they seem to be the rising teams of the year, I'd say. The newcomers.
Sure. Yeah, newcomers. There aren't many newcomers, so it's like not hard to be the new best newcomer.
I guess. I mean, but this isn't just like some random team that started up. Like, these are really good players on both those teams. Whereas, like, I guess if we made a team, we would technically be the newcomers, but it wouldn't matter because who the hell are Rifkin and Zombie Grove?
Hey, we would have the best clan tag though. Based.
Ah, that's true. What you need to do, you need to leave the caster clan and go reserve that on every server. Because now that you've said that on stream, sure, everybody's going to go and gobble it up.
Shit.
Way to go, Zombie Grove. Dropping the ball. TVT, pretty cool, pretty fun. We see a lot of different ways for this to play out, but usually pretty similar openings, ironically enough. I haven't actually seen enough of MMA. Like, he's kind of... I don't know if he just decided to take a break after the whole WCS thing or what the deal was, but you know, he hasn't been playing a lot of these tournaments. There was I think the IEM qualifiers, and I think that's about it. He's been really not super proactive, but it's not like he hasn't been training. He's been living at the Axiom house, and those guys all keep each other in check.
Sure. Well, we have got both of them going for very similar builds. Very similar. Waiting to see that second gas from either one. Up there, actually, MMA put it down. Alright, so it won't be too weird. It won't be a drop versus a drop, which it's a little silly.
I like that MMA is setting up that wall at the front. One-on-ones are just too common. When I saw the first depot back here, I was like, okay. But he follows through. Gumiho's put kind of this weird anti-reaper wall, I guess. Stop Paladins from running around the mineral line. Should that be the case? I mean, the supply depot placement has only become really important, I'd say, of late, since 111s have been such a big flavor of the month build.
Oh.
But if it's going to be Banshee versus Banshee, MMA's a little bit ahead in the race. He's building directly on the tech lab.
Yeah, Gumiho's a little late in the gas, though, so... I don't know. Maybe just sort of like a Viking first on sort of a Banshee. I thought for sure he was gonna do a drop.
Yeah, but he stopped telling production.
Yeah.
No, this is gonna go for the later Banshee.
Yeah, without cloak.
Well, that was really awkward. I'm not sure what that was about. That's like, you know when someone pulls into your driveway to turn around, you're like, oh, someone's visiting me. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, right.
Like that's what just happened.
Whenever I see a car that I don't know pull in my driveway, I'm just like, get out.
Who are you?
What are you doing?
Who do you think you are?
Oh, we live on like the edge, I guess, of like the cul-de-sac or whatever. So like a bunch of people just park near our house. So it's actually kind of creepy. I feel like they're like burglars, like, you know, scoping out the place. But they're usually just people that are lost.
What if they're cat burglars?
Because I have so many cats. I get it.
Someone from the stream's like, I know how important this cat is. Apollo to Zombie Grub. I'm gonna steal her, hold her hostage. Or him.
Yeah, Apollo's him, clearly. The name, bro.
Yeah, well, Banshee vs. Banshee finally out in play. We do have Cloak finishing up for MMA significantly sooner. In fact, Gumiho's not even gone for Cloak.
Yeah. Oh, he had such a later gas. I would be, you know, he would have had to have gotten a late cloak, if any cloak at all.
Yes,
and he actually has a Raven on the way.
Exactly, the preference of the Raven over the Cloak was Gonna be what was the big deal. But the problem is, even if the Raven comes out to detect the Banshee, it might not matter if all the Marines are dead before that. Gumiho has no anti-air.
Well,
He's got detection, but he's got no anti-air.
awkward.
An auto turret goes down, it's not a bad choice, but its range is fairly limited, so as we can see, just like a regular turret, you can hold position on the outskirts of this. Gotten a lot of good damage through this. Now Gumiho's going to try and make an attack. No, he turns around. Realizing he doesn't have cloak, I guess doesn't want to risk too much. MMA is inching in here, trying to get as close as he can to the SCVs.
Oh no,
But
auto turret range, you suck.
I gotta say, this feels like it's already MMA's game. This has spiraled so far out of control.
You know, 5 workers down, but a CC's not on the low ground. That can be recovered, I think.
Maybe.
It could have gotten a lot worse. He spent a lot of shots on this gas geyser. I guess he didn't realize how limited the auto turret range was either, because he was attacking SCVs that were literally clumped up against the auto turret. Could have gotten a lot more.
Oh, they have actually the exact same range. I never even realized.
I had no idea. I just saw what I saw, man, and I was like, wow. It's lame. Oh.
Helene's poking around. I mean, he did kill a lot of Marines, so maybe figured it'd be safe to come in, but yeah, with the Banshee sent at home for defense, no light harass to follow this up. So, this is... he killed so many Marines with that attack. Like, there's not a whole lot of buffer for these tanks. I can't say MMA is going to be in a position where he can just walk up that ramp. Walking through siege fire is never anything anyone wants to do, but he's in a position where he can afford to take losses if he goes aggressive.
Yeah, it's actually Gumiho who's going to be the one pushing out. That's a little surprising. He does still have his Banshee, I believe. Okay, yeah, but without Cloak, it doesn't... It's not going to start that snowball effect that we were casting some other TVTs where the Banshee was definitely the MVP. In fact, with a Raven, it would be hard to be the MVP anyways, but...
1-point defense drones for both, going to be a factor. MMA's Viking is a little bit weaker right now. Might not come into too big of effect. Again, tank position for MMA is going to be a bit advantageous. If he had vision! Oh no. This should never happen like this. Marines might try and respond to the Banshee at least, but that tank does take out a tank of MMA's for free, and this is a good start to Gumiho's counterattack.
Yep.
Okay, just barely no vision. Oh. Well, Marine sacrifice scan.
Barely. Oh, save the tank!
Wow, this is falling apart for MMA on the defense really badly, really quickly. Even as Marines trying to get picked off, and now MMA's got no defensive tank. He just put out a secret missile, but that's not going to kill the tank. Oh dear.
And the other tank still lives? I thought that died.
No, it, yeah, with 13 maybe lands this Viking and friendly fires the thing, but, I mean, for the most part, this is, going...
No, turn the wrong one!
Yeah, this is getting out of control. He's pulling SCVs into this. MMA, what's happened? You started out so strong with that Banshee. Okay, Marines, they stabilized, but he's 11 workers down.
I did not see the Marines from the left side, but thank God. 6 more Marines. Definitely the difference right there, and Gumiho does go back home. Gumiho was banking a lot of money, so he slaps on a 3rd command center, and he is going to go for mech. Not too surprising there.
Okay, well, both players with a very nasty start, but both players get some good damage in as well. I gotta tell you though, Gumiho's was just a little bit too good. MMA is going for a counter drop for an attack, but it's not like this is 2 tanks, 8 Marines, that magic drop that seems to win games.
It is stimmed Marines, and Gumiho really doesn't have a lot of production. You know, he has tanks, which can't be pounced upon.
Yeah, Gumiho actually hasn't even started his stim because he's on mech, so yeah, this is a... Ooh, yeah, this could do some damage. We'll see how badly this gets out of control. I mean, there are tanks in that, there's a secret missile or an auto turret or something to try and help out with this.
Don't worry, guys, that's his 2nd command center. 2nd, 3rd command center.
Yeah, this one over there. Okay, well, MMA gets some damage, gets out. But did he scout mech while he's over here? Yeah. No, actually, he didn't confirm the extra factories. So this could be a bit of a problem. When you do play bio versus mech, as MMA appears to be, a lot of emphasis goes on what your add-ons are, and that's you need more tech labs than reactors. You need more marauders than marines, and not because you're trying to kill tanks, but because these Hellions with blue flame will fry all the marines alive in like one blast. Especially if we got those drops that come out of the medevacs too.
Yeah. See what he does with these last 2 barracks. If he has tech labs or...
If it's tech labs, he kind of knows what's up. I guess
it's 2 tech labs and 2 reactors. I think that's, goes for Marauders as well. So he knows. I think the lack of Marines was more evidence than anything else, but maybe just the fact that Marines did not respond to it was also evidence. And it's Gumiho, so it's not a bad guess either.
Yeah. Although Gumiho's not really as notorious for mech in TVT, I feel.
He isn't. He's not. We actually saw him go almost to the bio against another mech player. I think it was Yoda or something.
Ooh, this could be awkward.
Tries to get out. No. Oh my god. No,
He's got to take out the tanks if he wants to go back in. Secret missiles won't kill the tanks, but it will make them really, really low. Takes out the 1 turret so he can try and come back in with the Vikings there. He's not going to risk it. MMA does lose the drop. But he comes with 7 SCVs and a lot of turrets are being invested in now by Gumiho. I mean, that's a lot of money going to the defense. Something he's not exactly short on at the moment, but it's kind of the difference of MMA being down those workers earlier on. You're investing your advantage in static defense.
Well, with this many Hellbats, I don't know if these Marines can hold even a slate contain here.
Yeah, even with Stim getting away from these is going to be hard. I mean, Hellbats aren't that fast, but they're just barely fast enough that even stutter stepping away from them is kind of difficult to do.
I'm backing up with Marauders now. There's not a lot of tanks, so maybe he can bust this. Good concave as well.
Yeah, he's got concussive shells, so he'll be able to kite. He's gonna
all the Marines deal with the Hellbats and the Marauders.
They take out the tanks.
Enough anyways. Never mind.
They take out the tanks in 2 seconds. Mission accomplished.
That was absolutely perfect. Gumiho trying to get this greedy 3rd and a greedy 4th, mind you.
Oh, I think it's going to go down. That's stutter step from MMA.
He has a 4th ready to go. No, that's a huge deal. That was, it was 16 minutes. You do want a 3rd. I mean, it's a pretty late 3rd, but obviously did not have enough to defend it. I
feel this has been like a big, it's one of those back and forth slap fests, you know? It's like,
well, MMA seems to be slapping, which is a little bit harder.
Yeah, it's picking up the intensity with each slap. Now, it's a lot of SCVs pre-pulled for this. I mean, Gumiho is really worried about his front lines getting broken when his production picks up. That is the downside to playing mech. It's not about the tanks per se, but I mean, all these Hellbats coming out now could be a great asset to dealing with these Marines.
So let's go for the drops. Instead of maybe trying to use them to bust out with, drops on the Marines. We'll see how this does. I mean, if he kills 20 SCVs, okay, maybe that brings him back. Again, he does have a 3rd command center that is almost done. That was supposed to be his 4th. If he just finishes it, I don't think he realized the SCV. There he goes.
There's a knockback, wouldn't mind the cut, the medevac, but Vikings will finish it. Got to deal with those Hellbats afterwards. The nice thing is everybody had already transferred these over to the 3rd, so there really wasn't that many SCVs here to kill in the first place.
Yeah. MMA's on his own actual 4th, too. It's almost finished on location.
Yeah. He's in a pretty darn good spot, but here comes those Hellbats for round 2. This time the SCVs are here, and he's not pre-pulling them, so about a 4th of them are going to go down really quick. Really late in the response to that because he was busy trying to micro the main. Apparently 2 Vikings don't beat 2 almost dead Hellbats. Or barely do, rather.
He did do a lot of damage. I mean, you brought that worker skill up to 34.
Yeah, but even so, if he can't take his own 3rd, none of that's going to matter. He does have to eventually break this ramp.
He only has 1 medevac now, too, so the Hellbat drops on top of the army. It's not that great. Oh, I think he has 2 medevacs. They're the ones coming home now.
Although, yeah, he may be able to get a slight advantage through air. I mean, he's going to have that air control without question, but I guess the big question is, will Gumiho have vision with his tanks? The sensor tower on the offensive lines is pretty funny to see, but yeah, we saw it earlier. Gumiho's tanks were able to out-vision MMA's back on the defense. That can happen here offensively.
Look how MMA's controlling the map, too. Marines sprinkled everywhere. Not that Merry-Go-Round is popular for hidden bases, but it's, Gumiho could have done so in desperation. Also getting kind of a hidden 5th of his own.
They'll scout those drops, too, which would be really nice. But you're right, like, MMA has got control of this map. There's no questioning that. He's even starting to invest in some Thors. Not for the bonus damage versus Vikings, but just for that range. But SCV's getting pulled. He's pulling the boys. We're going to go for the break. He's going to try to boost on top of the Marines. These will get fried alive by that blue flame. and looks like he
I don't
will
know
make
if he
the
needed
break.
to pull the SCVs. He just suddenly, he gave away SCVs as opposed to that being just barely what he needed to break through.
Landing the Vikings was a really cool choice too. That's just that little bit of damage that he needs, but stuttering away, MMA, he had this really sick contain, got broken, and now his army supply really suffers because of it.
Oh, but he's on 5 bases. His production soon is going to be really great near barracks. And yeah, I do wish that Gumiho did not use those SCVs. Really, I do. He'd be at a pretty good count. Although technically, having mined out his main, I guess, and most of his natural, he's really on like 1 and 1/4 pace. So 32 SCVs ain't bad for that.
MMA gets caught by that blue flame pretty hard. Those tanks are sieging up. He's got to disengage off this.
He just needs to, consolidate and hopefully not get sieged up on his production or near his production.
That air control out of Gumiho has been insane this game with those Vikings, but the count has driven. It's fallen down. It's not completely given up or anything, but maybe now we can start affording some medevacs. You guys will notice he's very intentionally not producing a bunch right now because he just knows they're going to get sniped off. So goes back into production finally.
Notice that Gumiho also finished his 2-2 over MMA's. Not sure if that was for the fight or not, but obviously very important.
Well, we're going to be honest, 2-2-1-1, whatever, blue flame, right? Like 36, 35 damage, tomato. Like
the drops are just so effective.
Yeah. I mean, this is why sometimes you'll see bio players hide 5-6 Vikings in the corner and hope to catch his opponent off guard, because that is the thing. Like, you need to snipe off those medevacs. You can't let those boost in like that. It's going to break every time. And well, Gumiho is going to go for a drop over here. He still doesn't know about MMA's secret base, the mule base. So that's kind of helping him stay alive in this game quite a bit.
Gumiho's got to maybe, he's not anywhere near max, so I don't know if he'll throw on a 4th base without a big bank. Maybe going to use one of these orbitals that are pretty much running dry on their own bases. And obviously an orbital's not too great to defend, but it's kind of a desperate maneuver you might have to do.
Well, the army value right now, I mean, both supplies are looking very indifferent, or very different, pardon me, but it's the actual army value we're looking at, guys. And while Gumiho's got a lot less SCVs, he doesn't really need them as much. When you play mech, it's all about that gas mining, so yeah, being down on SCVs, he's only got really 1 base to mine from. That's actually pretty good, I'd say. Yeah,
exactly. I guess he does have a very solid army, so it is entirely possible to, take good engagements, especially defensive engagements. Kind of awkward here. No one really controls his Elnaga. He runs into... Not really. Okay, they're both going to just set up around here then.
This one tank is like the hero tank. Yikes. In the face of adversity, he stands strong. Gumiho is going to get surrounded by several different angles. MMA is setting up for this split. The nice thing about this means the Hellbats can't hold drop on top of 1 clump of Marines. That being said, he's still pushing into tank fire. No matter how you look at that, that's not fun to deal with. Ooh, we got that big flank of Hellbats from the left side, but the tanks deal with it immediately. Oh, Gumiho's tank line is getting broken at the same time. Those couple Marauder shards are just enough. He's got reinforcements coming to the front lines, but MMA's tank line still goes strong. And Gumiho, well, he kind of actually holds better than I thought he was going to. But here comes that drop. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Immediate follow-up drop with 6 medevacs, and it's still just, yep, okay, finally starting to break those tanks. They're already low from the first one, so they finally are broken.
Wow. I can't believe Gumiho just did that. It looked like he was getting his back broken in half, like Batman getting his back snapped over Bane's knee or something, but man, Gumiho not only holds, he turns that around with that sick drop. Medevacs are so good for mech players. Let's just talk about that for a moment.
I do wonder what would happen if MMA had unsieged the tanks to go with the army, Like...
if he just, did this one big push instead of a defensive line.
Yeah, because, half of it was a big push and half of it was just a defensive line. I don't know how it would have gone. We'll never know, I guess. But now he's in a little bit of trouble. He's on top of some production now, and he still has all those Hellbats, too.
Oh, God. Dealing with the Hellbats is such a pain. The Marauders can slow them, of course, but they don't deal much damage. That tank line is just shelling away these command centers. These very important, very critically producing barracks. MMA, what has happened? In an instant, one bad battle, he's suddenly almost out of the game. This is so scary.
Yeah. To be fair, it's been a couple of bad battles, you know? Like, that first one was absolutely amazing. It looked like Gumiho was gonna die. But then after that, it was like, oh, he's actually not taking as good as engagements as I thought he was. You know, with how much he controlled the map, it's just showing the power of a mech army.
I was gonna get some SCV kills himself behind this. I mean, MMA does have a lot more bases than Gumiho, so losing this one is not devastating. I gotta tell you though, I don't know if he can get over like losing those Raxes though. 4 extra Raxes was a lot of production.
Yeah, it was. A lot of tech labs. The Marauders would have come out of there.
Oh man, this is gonna be the slowest killing army ever. Marauders, please.
Yeah. Couldn't get the command center either. Had to just lift. There was I think that's the orbital from the main, lifting over to be the 4th. So yeah, a little bit, you know, not safe at all. But if you have control over their army, which Gumiho does now, then it's actually perfectly safe. All you do is worry about a drop or two.
It's like sheep herding. These shepherd marauders.
The Gumiho's SCV is gonna like team up with the army and start repairing. Just be like, oh well, we're here.
Oh, that'd be so sick. Well, the tank from Gumiho is going to try and hold the top of the ramp for the time being. The problem is, though, he is slowly but surely losing his base.
Yeah.
He's going to try and drop on top of this, but that's not going to work out too hot. There's a couple of Vikings in the air, and of course some Hellbats on the ground. If only he could find a way to get some air control, Gumiho would struggle to actually fight MMA, but... Alright, he goes to the break. Can he do it? Marauders stimmed in. We got those tanks unsieged, attacking the front lines. Those tanks go down pretty darn quick. There's not a huge, like, reinforcement cavalry of Hellbats this time. Is this your pick up the SCVs?
SCVs?
It picks up the SCVs.
Oh, why not?
I love
There's
it.
an entire army from Gumiho, but he did dip down in supply heavily, and he lost that 3rd base, only replacing it now with that orbital command from his main.
Yeah,
And Gumiho's not so hot in mining, except for that one secret base where he's just constantly muling.
But even with this new base being found, Gumiho's still struggling for cash at this point. MMA's not in a lot of a better spot right now, but down on 88 supply, we don't exactly see 7 tanks coming out at a time anymore. So, Gumiho, I don't know, he's not exactly super in danger. Oh my god. Planetary Fortress, please. Can you not outdamage medevac heals? Are you serious?
No, put it back! Oh, okay. No, yeah,
no, you know, Stu is doing the dance of god damn it. Here comes the Bioforce. This army's still really badly injured. The medevac count has never really been that high this game. The Vikings kept pecking it off over and over and over again. So healing up the stim bio is going to be really critical moving forward. Gumiho does decide to retreat and try and secure his own 3rd base. I mean, he's heavily saturated, oversaturated. He's going to transfer some over with his new command center from the main. Does repair that up really nice.
That was the old command center from the 3rd. The 4th is the old command center from the main. Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, but you know the problem is now is that he doesn't have control over MMA's like presence on the map anymore. So keeping 2 orbital bases as far as they are as mech will be quite difficult. And I hope that MMA, starts to abuse that, or he just takes this army fight with a 360 surround. The Hellbats are still so strong on all those medevacs, but the tanks are being fired upon. Hellbats, you didn't do your job enough.
But he doesn't break the tanks. Is the problem.
He's always so close to like breaking the tanks, like, oh, the bio armor's up the tanks, and then the tanks actually win. So, hype gone.
I really don't think MMA expected to be fighting such a ferocious battle as first best of 3 today.
Ooh.
But
Yeah,
that one-of-my shot takes out some of the medevacs. This is something he's been struggling to deal with. I mean, the Hellbats are not what's so strong in this composition. The drops of those Hellbats.
Who's going to be able to break him? If he gets on top of MMA's production, obviously that is fantastic. He's on top of the natural now, which is almost there.
It's getting a bit scary, a bit dicey. We do have a drop on MMA, going to clear out one of those new mining bases, but he just transfers over to the other one. But you're right, if the production gets camped, that's going to be it. I mean, you can't, as a Terran player, once this main base is breached, there's just no more chances for MMA. So as he funnels these units forward, he's got no medevac support again. This is so problematic. And it's not his own fault. Again, it's just Vikings shelling it away from behind every battle.
With all the 360 surrounds that MMA has had, and now with better upgrades, as 3-3 did finish a while ago, I'm with MMA. I thought his army was going to destroy Gumiho's army every single time it happened, and Gumiho's army is just good. The Hellbat drops are amazing.
Didn't realize he had finally found the top right base, so I guess he just Hellbat dropped it. Didn't kill too many SCVs. A lot of them were pulled off the middle of the map, but that means no more mining. MMA, don't lose this command center though, please. Lift, no.
Yeah, I could have lifted that a long time ago. But he's still on Well, I guess it's 3 base
They're
versus
both.
2 base.
Well, it's like 1 base versus 1 base. Really, they're both just. It's all about that
Well,
economy, right?
there's 4 orbitals actually
Oh
from
god.
MMA.
Oh god, MMA, you gotta run, man. You gotta run. You got so much bio. You gotta get over there like right now.
Just run. Just give up. Just run.
But is the helmet's ready for the? Oh my god!
Please.
I can't stress this enough. The Hellbats are not what's overpowered in this game at all. It's those damn medevacs. But look at this hit squad from Gumiho. He's brought some SCVs to kill his opponent's SCVs.
You can't take someone's orbital command, as cool as that would be as a mechanic, though. So.
Oh, why
Gumiho,
can't you
please.
rewire it? Seriously.
Right? Like it's, just get in there, kick the guy out, put your guy in.
Yeah, kick the dumbass who won't land on Zerglings out of the control. Take the seat. Alright, MMA is left with a fighting force. His economy is gone. If he can just take one amazing engagement, keep in mind, guys, Gumiho doesn't have a whole lot behind this either.
Yeah. I would almost say, like, base trade it out, because every single time it's looked like he's going to take an amazing engagement with better upgrades. The tanks and the Hellbat drops just barely went out.
I think one of the big reasons he doesn't do this, though, is because he knows his opponent is Vikings, and he doesn't.
And with how this game has gone,
oh no!
maybe even better.
What little SCVs? Yes.
5 SCVs will now die. 4 SCVs and 2 mules. Where's the last SCV then?
I don't know.
SCV, where are you? In the main.
And transferring.
Oh god. But yeah, MMA might have been. He took the map so well. I was like, wow, he's in such control of this game.
It's almost.
I guess he should have gone for the air superiority a lot sooner.
Yeah, I agree. But look at this. They basically mined out the map together. This is a mined out scenario, silly as that is.
Yeah, space trade. Telling you, I think it's MMA's best bet. Like the army with the force around you, I think would win, but it hasn't so far.
Yeah, he lifts everything. He's going to go for it. All right, MMA, screw it, caution to the win. Let's do this. The problem is a lot of SCVs just transferred away with the orbital command center, so he's going to have money, but I guess if his production's camped, that might not matter. He's going to also lift his buildings. Gumiho, MMA! Gumiho, MMA!
Oh, but MMA never got Vikings. Like, we're talking about the worst possible scenario.
Yeah, that's true. If he can keep a command center alive, I mean, he could eventually maybe get Vikings. This is dumb. He can land his starport with 1 Viking. I think he knows he needs to do this too, is the problem. There's an orbital floating up here.
This is where Terran feels the pain of, other races when they just lift.
Yeah. I've never seen a TVT really end this way in professional play. I've experienced this firsthand a couple times myself, but not in this sort of setting.
Usually if it's a base trade in TVT, it is just like they rarely get the opportunity to actually lift all of their buildings. Like Marine tank versus Marine tank, Marines do way too much damage, so it's usually like 1 or 2 buildings. But MMA has a fleet of buildings that if he could just get unsupply blocked and put them down somewhere, he could.
He can't though. With no SCVs, he can't even build an SCV to start building supply depots with.
Oh,
so the only way he can build anything is if he loses his army. If he loses his army, that's it. That's game.
Well, just very slowly and cost effectively. It's so tempting. Look how crump those Marines are.
This is
as long as he can stop Gumiho from getting a command center over there.
Oh, he doesn't know about the northern base though. I think Gumiho's gonna win this. I love MMA to death, and I believe in the power of MMA, but MMA has actually let Gumiho to get cloaking field, so Banshees will win this because there'll be no scans or detection, I guess. Well, I guess there's no. So the orbital did live, so there'll be a couple of scans.
Yeah, no reason to send mules down.
Yeah, I think the point you made earlier though is definitely ringing in true for me right now, where MMA just didn't have air control at any point in this game. There was no like secret Vikings hidden off to the side. He just gave up on medevac so quickly. I mean,
oh, is actually gonna go in? This is it. This isn't how you base trade.
Well, he does take out the tanks right away. This isn't looking so bad at first. Can he deal with the Hellbats? If he could kite these all day, he could technically kite these all day. He's got high ground vision with the Hellions. He transforms them back. The Hellions are faster than Marines. Oh, Gumiho! He's gonna take it. Last couple units going down for MMA. 0 supply across the board. GG is called. And game number 1 will go to Gumiho.